I want to talk to you quickly about Lightspeed Capital, and the big question is: can you really rely on Lightspeed this year to get your business funded? So let me first talk about. So this will be a review, an in-depth review of the lender, but I want to first give you a few ideas about what Lightspeed Capital is and what it's not. Okay, so if you think about Lightspeed Capital, I want you to think about a unique business funding opportunity for specific eligible Lightspeed payment customers. Okay, so this is kind of similar to Square Capital or QuickBooks or other POS in the system, other point of sale systems. Okay, so if you are a Lightspeed payment customer, you will love actually Lightspeed Capital. So Lightspeed actually remains a one-stop commerce platform for retail, e-commerce, restaurants, and golf courses. So that's really good. And its products include point of sale, you have payments, inventory management, marketing, reporting, and more. And the company is actually the direct funder of the Lightspeed Capital products. Okay, so this is kind of cool. And so this Lightspeed Capital is designed to empower Lightspeed merchants to invest in their business growth and development by providing access to capital. So this is kind of cool in terms of flexibility. And the Lightspeed commerce platform is actually available across the globe. So that's kind of cool. So this is not just in the States. Do you have a system that's available globally? Of course, the company, the whole funding program is actually in New York. So they're primarily in New York and Providence, Providence, Rhode Island. Okay, but they also have offices in Montreal. Okay, in Canada. And the company actually, the whole program was launched in 2005. Okay, and also in terms of capability, they're actually they can give you a maximum of $1 million, sometimes even more. So that's about the like an overview of the program. Let me talk to you about how the whole funding program works. So Lightspeed Capital is a merchant cash advance, let's say provider that provides a lump sum of money repaid with a percentage of your daily sales. So merchant cash advances are not loans, okay? So instead, they are business-to-business transactions where the MCA funder, in this case, Lightspeed provides will purchase future receivables for the advance amount, which is actually the purchase price, okay, that you have for the receivables. So one thing I want to say here is that basically the company itself doesn't charge. They don't really charge specific amounts. Okay, they don't actually even publish their borrowing ranges, fixed fee ranges, or terms. Okay, however, one thing you need to understand here is that your sales will have a big impact on your cost, on your MCA cost. So since it's not a loan, MCAs don't have to actually don't have an interest rate. Instead, MCAs use a fixed flat fee, sometimes called a fixed capital fee or a factor rate, and the fee is a percentage of the advanced amounts, which gets added to the principal to become the total repayment amount. Okay, so Lightspeed Capital provides the following simple MCA for a user, for your user. If you are thinking about, I want to put this on the screen so you can see. So let's say your cash advance amount is $20,000, and you have let's say a flat fee of $3,400, $3,400. So the total amount owed will be $23,400. Okay, so the payment rate can be 11%. So as you can see on the screen here, the flat fee, and this is important, the flat fee is a 15% of the advance. That's the same rate as a factor rate of a 1.17, and the payment rate is a percentage of your daily sales that go towards repayment. And other MCA funders call this the remittance or holdback rate, and actual fees depend on your MCA structure and arrangement. So this is an important element. So in this example, 11% of the daily sales are remitted to Lightspeed until the total $23,400 is actually repaid. So there is no way to reduce cost by paying it off early, since the fee is actually applied, okay? Is applied initially. That's an important element to remember, is applied initially, okay? And becomes actually the new payment capital. Something to really remember. The new payment total. So what are the qualifications for Lightspeed Capital this year? Well, the company actually actively monitors Lightspeed payments accounts for when they become eligible, and merchants need at least 6 months of payment history to qualify. So if you want to qualify for this program, make sure that you have at least 6 months of payment history. And since the repayments comes from your daily sales, traditional factors like credit score are not really considered, right? Because this is more of a revenue-based financing program. So the program really seeks to help merchants that can qualify for traditional small business loans, okay? So it bases eligibility on your business performance, including sales history and tenure with Lightspeed. So it will actually notify you with an invitation to apply when you are eligible, and invitations are only good for 30 days. So just be sure that you are ready for 30 days. So for Lightspeed Capital, you need to know that the company doesn't perform a credit check on Lightspeed Capital applicants, okay? So, and this is an unsecured financing program, meaning that you don't really need to pledge collateral. So as a business owner, you can use the funds for any purpose, any projects, or any expense. So examples include purchasing bulk inventory, hiring and onboarding staff, expanding product offerings, and marketing campaigns. So there's no restriction when it comes to the use of loan proceeds. And but just remember that you need to be a Lightspeed customer, and the program is designed to help your business if you can't get a traditional small business loan, okay? And one thing I want you to really understand, I want you to understand is that you have to have a plan in terms of repayment so that you don't end up paying way more. Now, how do you apply to Lightspeed Capital this year? So you have to understand that this is an invitation-only program. So Lightspeed Capital, they pre-screen applicants for eligibility, and they create an MCA offer tailored to your business. Okay, so the system, the Lightspeed Capital system, will alert you by email or back office notification to apply. And so, but just remember, it's invitation only. Okay, and but if you want to learn more, you can contact the company at capital.sales@lightspeedhq.com. So that way you can just email them to see if you are eligible. Now, here is how the process really works. So Lightspeed experts determine your eligibility. The offer appears in back office or email. So that's really pretty straightforward. And you can apply for the merchant cash advance in back office or with a client specialist. And the fourth step is that if approved, funds are sent to your bank account as soon as the 2 business days. So that's really fantastic. Okay. And just remember that repayment comes from your daily credit card payments. Okay. And so there is no monthly total due, nor do we have set terms. The payment rate continues to deduct from your sales until the total repayment amount is paid in full, right? They have to be paid too. So that's an important element. Now, what are the advantages of Lightspeed Capital? If you're looking for funding through this program, you need to understand that you actually could get business funding if you can qualify. If you can't qualify for a loan, okay, let's say for any reason, whatever reason, you can't get a business loan for expanding or for anything else. So you can go to Lightspeed Capital for, let's say, for unsecured business funding with no access to your credit, like no credit check, okay? Because there is no minimum credit score, credit check, or revenue requirements. because it is invitation only, they will monitor your transaction flow. They will monitor your transaction trends. And merchant cash advances generally have fast approval and funding times because once approved, you can get your Lightspeed Capital funds as soon as 2 business days. And eligibility is based on your business performance, especially sales history. That means what? It means that you could become eligible if you are successfully driving sales using the Lightspeed platform. So everything again starts with you using the Lightspeed platform. And nearly every merchant cash advance doesn't require collateral, which is really good. So including Lightspeed Capital, okay? So it is a viable funding product for small business owners who don't have business assets to pledge as collateral. And also, one thing I want to say is that a unique aspect of the Lightspeed Capital Merchant Cash Advance is that it doesn't have a set terms, okay? This means what? It means that it is an open-ended date, and repayment comes from sales. So repayment is directly tied to sales performance. So your sales performance will dictate everything. And a slow day or week means you won't have to pay as much, making it a more affordable structure for business funding. So let me talk to you about the disadvantages here. So you kind of have an idea now of the advantages of Lightspeed Capital. So you got to ask yourself, what are the disadvantages? What are the fine prints, right? You need to understand is that everything is about affordability. So with Lightspeed Capital, you don't have an affordable business funding program because MCAs by nature are expensive. They are among the most expensive business funding options in the nation. So that's actually the trade-off for the lowered qualifications and fast funding time. So if you're looking for, let's say, a no credit check funding program, Lightspeed can really help you out, okay, here. And Lightspeed Capital will help you out as long as you qualify, as long as you use this POS for your credit card processing, they'll see your sales. So it is a very easy, quote unquote, easy funding program, okay? So, but it will cost you. Another drawback is that MCAs use a fixed fee instead of an interest rate. So there is no way to save if you pay it off early, right? Because the fees are charged upfront and are added to the cost of the loan, quote unquote loan. And also an MCA makes it very difficult to compare cost with a loan that uses an APR. So Lightspeed Capital MCA applications are by invitation only. So this is another hurdle. So when you have an invitation only, that means that if you're never invited, you can't apply. Okay. Now, of course, I told you a little earlier that you might send an email, and if you're lucky, they might reply to you, but it's not really sure. Okay. So you can send an email to, I think I gave you that email earlier. It's a capital.sales@lightspeedhq.com. capital.sales@lightspeedhq.com. So this is kind of cool. And also, another disadvantage is that merchant cash advance products take repayment directly from your daily sales revenue. So while this helps ensure that you never miss a payment, it can also strain your cash flow, especially if you need the cash for, let's say, other purposes, because you have no control. They're taking the money right away from your account. So let's continue the thinking when it comes to Lightspeed Capital. You need to understand that the pros and cons are pretty straightforward, right? Pros, basically, as a business owner, you get business funding. If you can't qualify for a loan or a traditional business loan or a traditional business line of credit or any other type of business funding program. And so no minimum credit score or credit check is happening here, okay? Nobody's doing a hard pull on your credit. So if your credit is actually at 300, nothing will happen if you go through an MCA, because this is a revenue-based financing program. And you have an easy application process and fast funding times. And so the funding program doesn't require collateral, and there is no set repayment term, right? Like they're not saying you have to pay this in 5 years or 10 years or 6 months or whatever. No, it's very flexible. On the flip side, I think I've said this before, affordability is an issue. So if you go with Lightspeed Capital or another MCA provider, you don't have an affordable program. Okay, this is a very expensive program, and the fixed fee means that you can't save, you cannot save by paying it off early, and also it's kind of difficult to compare costs with a loan. Right, this is an important element to remember. And also, you cannot apply directly. And also, one thing you need to understand is that you just have to pray that they invite you, because this is an invitation only. One thing I want to say is that if you want to monitor your business funding programs, let me know in the comment section. I can certainly help you find other sources. I mean, because if you don't qualify for Lightspeed Capital, you could be actually eligible for another program. And this may not be an MCA, but it could also be another funding program. You have thousands of lenders, of business lenders out there who will provide capital, the capital that you really need, okay, to fund your business. It's all about positioning your business the proper way. And you can even use your EIN to actually get funded. So that's really fantastic. So if you think about Lightspeed Capital, you need to understand that you have a pretty legit lender, okay? Lightspeed Capital has been around for 20 years. They have a proven track record. It is a legit provider of credit card payment processes, okay? Like POS systems, for instance. So this is a legitimate merchant cash advance product from the massive commerce and point of sale platform. And they have offices in Canada and the States. And you can use their Lightspeed Capital program to actually fund your business from the States all the way to the whole world, okay? They only focus on your revenue. This is a revenue-based financing program, okay? So nothing to worry about your credit, worrying about a credit check. And if you're not eligible for a Lightspeed Capital, because you could not be eligible if you're not a Lightspeed POS user, you have to understand that you can continue selling on the platform and wait for an eligibility notification, or apply to a small business lender or marketplace that accepts direct applications. Like you can really go to Lendio, you can go to National Business Capital, okay? You can really try other things. It's really good. I mean, if you want to know, let me know in the comment section, and I'll certainly help you out, okay? So fortunately, many alternative lenders are available, and you shouldn't have an issue finding a merchant cash advance provider, because this is one of the most accessible funding products available on the market this year. So you might also be interested in one of the following small business loans in case an MCA is not the right product for you. You can try, for instance, a business term loan, a business line of credit, an SBA loan. You can try equipment financing. You could try invoice factoring, bad credit business loans, working capital loans, and among others. One thing I want to say here is that in terms of lenders, you can try your banks, your current bank, or your current credit union. You can also try an alternative lender, or you could try an online lender. It really depends on how you want to position your business for funding. In conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about Lightspeed Capital. I defined for you what Lightspeed Capital is, how does it work, what are the qualifications, how do you apply, what are the pros and cons. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will speak to you another time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.